There was a scenario that Alfred Hitchcock would talk about quite a lot when trying to demonstrate the difference between surprise and suspense. If you imagine a bunch of people sitting around a table having a fairly boring, mundane conversation, and then after a few minutes, a bomb goes off and they all die. That is a surprise. However, if you imagine exactly the same conversation, nothing changes about the conversation at all, really. Only you see the bomb under the table and the timer at the very, very start of the scene. Suddenly, the scene goes from being boring to being suspenseful. I recently finished work on a short film called What Are You Hiding? That was very much just taking this idea and running with it, and seeing just how much suspense I could build across 10 minutes applying Hitchcock's ideas. I feel like I learned quite a lot from that experience, and it might be pretty fun to talk to you about in a video. That's what's happening now. What? Welcome back to the channel. Greetings. My name is Matthew. I'm a filmmaker based in the UK, and on this channel I talk about creativity, storytelling, a lot of it revolving around filmmaking, but not all of it. So hopefully this will be useful to any storytellers out there, even if you're not filmmakers. In his book on filmmaking, which I reference all the time because it's amazing and you should all read it, Alexander McKendrick talks about suspense as being anticipation mingled with uncertainty. I just double-checked something, and it's not in fact Alexander McKendrick that originally said it. He used it in his series of lectures that became this book. However, it was originally said by a guy called William Archer. So, correction. I've corrected the record. It wasn't originally McKendrick, it was William Archer. This quote perfectly summarizes everything that you need to know about suspense and how it works, which is basically you give the audience some potential outcome and then you say, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? That is what creates suspense. I think it's potentially worth taking a moment to separate suspense from dramatic irony. In the Hitchcock example, we see both suspense and dramatic irony. Dramatic irony is when we, the audience, know something that the characters does not know. Us knowing about the bomb under the table is dramatic irony, but the possibility of the bomb going off without people getting away from it, that's the suspense. It is possible to have suspense without dramatic irony, and it's possible to have dramatic irony without suspense. If you want to see a good example of suspense without dramatic irony, watch the Zodiac basement scene. I did a scene breakdown on it, which I'll try and link somewhere if I can. You don't have to watch my scene breakdown, but it's just a really good scene. So if you want to see some good suspense without any dramatic irony, watch that scene. Watch it. It's very, very good. The bomb under the table is a great example of suspense built around something very bad potentially happening and us being unsure of whether or not it will. You can have suspense where we're unsure whether or not something positive will happen. This is the basis of pretty much any film that revolves around a will they won't they romance. Like just kiss already. We find suspense in the potential completion or not of this romantic arc that we want these characters to go on. I've gotten very, very passionate about these fictional people that I've just imagined who should totally kiss, but I don't know whether or not they will. However, I did not include that kind of suspense in my short film, What Are You Hiding?, which is the one that I just blatantly stole Hitchcock ideas for in the attempts to make something very, very suspenseful. So let's quickly have a little look at my short film, What Are You Hiding?, and how I used some of these ideas of suspense to inform the script that I wrote for it and how I shot the film. So in my short film, What Are You Hiding?, a man accidentally kills his friend and hides the body in the bathroom when his other friend arrives, thinking that the three of them are going to spend a nice afternoon together. This doesn't happen. One of them's dead in the bathroom. Spoilers. So in this setup, we have a great source of suspense, which is she going to find the body? Is she not going to find the body? And straight away, you can just take that, move it closer and further away from happening, and you get some lovely ups and downs of suspense. This idea of suspense also informs some of the visual choices. So shots like this one and this one both put her in the frame with the thing that she's potentially going to discover. Because the source of suspense is whether or not she will discover the body, you put those two things in a shot together and you really get a sense for that suspense. When she eventually does discover the body, it's done so in such a way that there's still just a tiny bit of deniability still possible. Everything's beginning to collapse around her, but that suspense is still there. You don't know what's going to happen next because she's seen the body, but not clearly, and the two of them are now standing at opposite ends of the hallway, neither sure what move the other is going to make next. So that uncertainty and anticipation mingle together very, very well. So for various reasons, she ends up in the bathroom with the body and a crutch that she can use as a weapon. When she takes the crutch and is talking about coming out and holding it as if she's going to use it as a weapon, again, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We don't know who would win that fight. We don't know if that fight is even going to occur, just that it might do. Which means the whole film ends on a note of unresolved suspense, which is just a lot of fun. I liked that so much as an idea for the ending. It's also a great bit of dramatic irony because we know that she's taken the crutch, but he doesn't. So suspense and dramatic irony. Generally speaking, I think I did a pretty good job of applying these Hitchcockian suspense ideas to my film, What Are You Hiding? So if you want to have a look at that film, I will leave a link somewhere on screen to the playlist of my short films. I also made some mistakes when making this film, which I talk about in another video. I'm not sure if I've uploaded it yet, but if you want to go look at my channel, see some of the other videos that I've made, there's some more stuff on some of these ideas as well. So I'm terrible at saying goodbye, and I don't have any ideas for how to end this video. So I'm just gonna... Oh, I'm gonna answer that message is what I'm gonna do. Bye! However, this idea of... However...